The system is down. Week 10. What's it week 10? It's week 10, whatever. Week 10, let's do some picks. I should really get back to work, and I haven't even eaten breakfast yet, and it's almost 9 o'clock. When you're a fat kid and you've not eaten by 9 o'clock, like your whole day's gone bad. Let's get to the easy game first. Hitmen versus Decepticon, 12 o'clock at Torpy. Sign that game off right now. Hitmen sweeps. Let's go to your 9 o'clock game at North Branch 2. Wolfpack versus Gentleman's Club. Now, Gentleman's Club is basically hanging on by a string here, and they basically need to make the playoffs. They need to win both of these games, and then they need to win at least 1 out of 4 games against Wild, because it's a big bird. Because Wolfpack has the luxury of playing Decepticons twice. You have to assume, and when I assume, you make an ass out of me and you, but I'm going to assume they win both those games. So they only really need one of these games, and basically they're in, or not win any games, and then the tiebreaker I think they hold. So whatever. I'm going with a split here, and a split basically ends the season for Gentleman's Club. So prove me wrong, guys. I'm usually never wrong though. So split there. See, at 12 o'clock in North Branch 2, after Wolfpack and Gentleman's Club split, you have Legends versus Channel 4. A field with no fence. I believe probably should help out Channel 4 more than it does Legends, although Legends do have some gap hitters. This is a game where Legends, they win really good games against SWAT, and everyone's like, oh my god, they won against SWAT. And then they lose important games against Hitmen, and then they don't take care of business against important games for some reason. I don't know. And it being Father's Day, throw that as a factor. I'm not sure. It's a 12 o'clock game. It's Father's Day. Maybe some people are going to show up. I have no idea. I do know they're going to split though, because in my last video, I mathematically assume they're going to split. So they're going to split these games. They're going to split them because I need them to split, because I'm usually right about stuff like that. So, split. In 2 close games. I'm going to write that down. Close games. Splits. Then you have SWAT versus No Side. And you know what stinks about this game? They're 2 really good teams. They're in the top 3 of their division. They're both playing for something important, yet they have to play at a controversial field as Quailbrook, where the mound really does play a factor into home runs or doubles, or a fast guy turning a triple but then he gets only knocked down to a double. That being said, SWAT sweeps over No Side and Quailbrook at 12:30. Which brings you to Aftermath versus Wild, a replay game of last Sunday. This time we're playing at 9 o'clock in the morning on Father's Day. Hope that's not an issue for anybody. But if Wild brings out the same players as they did last week, again, we're going to have some really good games. Now, this week we will have John back in the outfield, so please don't assume that those handful of balls that we dropped will drop this week. Also, I think most of you guys know who BZ is. He's a beast. He's going to kill a sheep, probably, twice. So we're not going to have Yi play, but we will have BZ be playing, and Stats will be there also. He's the guy, he's the lefty who hit the 2 home runs. Travis is going to be there. Verfeek's going to be there. Cruz is going to be there. Bob's going to... The problem with all these guys is, and I feel really bad for these guys, because there's only 4 home runs to go around. So unless I throw up some golf ball shots and some meatballs to Jose, hopefully Andre comes. I'd love to see that guy smoke some more home runs off of me. Guy's a beast. Anyway, I'm sorry, I get sidetracked when I get starry-eyed sometimes. Great pitchup matching, really good jerseys going to be worn that weekend. It's my team, so we're going to sweep. Nothing against you guys, Wild. And you guys are still going to house the rest of the team you play, but we're going to sweep. Which brings you to Invictus versus Shaw's at 12:30 at North Branch 1. Huge games for not only themselves, but for the league. These are also two teams that have only played 12 games and are very far behind in schedule. So, I think they're going to split here. I think Shaw's needs to have more than 9 guys show up, first of all, because you can't keep coming up with 9 guys, especially against a very good team like Invictus. That being said, North Branch 1 is a fence. It's a very far fence. It's a fence where only one Shaw's player can hit a home run. I think he'll hit 1 or 2, which is probably better because you don't want the Invictus guys having the extra home runs. So I would assume that you don't hit any home runs. You put the ball on the ground and make them work for it. Limit their home runs to what you can, because they will hit them. And should be a very good game. I know most of our players are, depending on Father's Day, I'm probably going to drive over there because we play Shaw's next week and then we play Invictus at the end of the season, so it's a little bit of a scouting for me. I want to see who comes to play, you know, stuff like that. So that's all I got for you guys. Should be a really good Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. If you're not a father, whatever, it's cool. I'm probably not a dad unless somebody told me something I didn't, or no one told me something. It's rough doing these videos in the weather. Like when it's all rainy on Monday, just kind of talking to yourself. All right, I'm gonna get breakfast. I'm starving.